Hey everybody, welcome to the Dave Schaedel Show. Now, even though it's still pretty early in the school year, a lot of you are starting to make plans for next summer. And my guess is a lot of you are thinking camp. So today, we're going to hear from 2 camp counselors and take a look at the less than helpful camp app. But first, this is Dave and Busted, Camp Edition. How many camp crushes have you had? Real numbers.
0.
0? Yeah. What?
2.
2. All right, we need names.
Rather not.
Is 20 acceptable?
For 6 weeks of camp, that's pretty average. I'd say pretty standard, pretty standard.
Yeah, not a lot, like 2, maybe 3.
2 a year? 2 a year is what I'm hearing?
2 altogether.
2 altogether?
Yeah.
Did you start dating the second one? Is that what happened? Oh, awkward.
Probably 3.
30?
3.
30. I'm getting 30 confirmed. How many times a day did you play carpet ball?
I was always losing, so not very often.
Not very often?
5.
Wow.
Yeah.
We need to find you a life, young lady.
3 times.
A day?
A day.
Amen. Amen. A faithful man to that.
At least on average once.
At least on average once. On a scale of 1 to 10, how bad did you smell at the end of every week of camp?
Like a 5?
Like a 5?
1.
1?
I showered every
That's
morning
disgusting.
and
You're
every
not
night.
doing camp right at all.
Oh, I would smell scrumptious.
Scrumptious? Would that be a 10? That would be a 1.
That'd be okay, 1.
1. And scrumptious is how we describe how you smell. Okay, sounds good. Thanks
Okay,
so
great.
much.
Good.
Okay, bye. Those answers bring back some great camp memories. Well, nothing says camp quite like sitting around a bonfire and roasting marshmallows. Am I right? Well, now that's easier than ever with this WhatsApp with That. Do you love toasting marshmallows? Do you love camping without actually camping? Well, now you can practice your campfire skills with Marshmallow Maker's Toasted Marshmallows. Put your marshmallow on a virtual fire. Select which kind of marshmallow you want. Wait for it to ding and tell you it's done. Now, I'm going to take this fake block of chocolate and melt it. And by melt it, I mean hold the pan there as it slowly makes weird animations and buzzing noises. And from here, I can now choose the chocolate topping, maybe a color of frosting, and my personal favorite, sprinkles. Put some sprinkles all over that thing. Then when you're done, you get to eat it. And by eat it, I definitely mean press the screen and watch chunks disappear. Doesn't this sound like fun, guys? Because who actually wants to make a delicious marshmallow and eat that? That doesn't sound delicious at all, now does it? Now, in the theme of camp, we're sitting down with 2 camp counselors who have worked multiple summers at camp and really know the ropes. First, we have Ryan McCarty, who served 3 summers at the Wilds. Ryan, welcome to the show, buddy.
Thanks, David. Good to be here.
All right, we got a couple quick questions about camp. Sound great?
Sounds good.
All right, food that got you most sick or that you were most sick of?
By the end of the summer, it was probably chicken tenders.
Chicken tenders? Okay. All right, craziest camper you had all summer?
Craziest camper, I actually had him 2 summers in a row.
Oh.
And he just was an annoyance, and he was constantly picking on other kids and just going crazy. You can't really...
So basically a normal junior camper?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, pretty standard. All right, last question. Most embarrassing moment from the camp summer?
Most embarrassing was probably after it was a night game, and we just
That's
lost.
the start to any good story.
Yeah, and we just lost the game, and I was trying to get everyone pep back up because we came really close, and I started cheering one of the other team's cheers, loud enough for everyone to hear.
That's often humiliating. I don't think very many of us have been there.
Yeah,
Mainly just you.
Not good.
That's never a good situation. All right, thanks so much, buddy, for coming by.
Thank you, David.
Now we're going to talk to another camp veteran, Audrey Martin. Audrey, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Dave.
You've worked, what, 3 summers at the Woodlands now? Wow. Working 3 years at a camp is a long haul.
Yeah.
All right, we got a couple questions about camp. Sound good? Mm-hmm. All right, first off, we want to hear what your nastiest camp memory was.
Nastiest camp memory. Well, as you know, kids, they love candy. And when they're at camp, they're away from their parents for a week. So they're like, I'm going to buy all the candy and eat it all in one day. And so I had this girl in
We've
my
all
cabin.
been
there. Yeah. There's this girl in my cabin who decided to eat all the candy she could afford in one day. And that night, she was sleeping on top of the triple. So
Oh no.
she threw up over the side of it, and it landed on, well, hers included, it landed on 4 different beds.
Stink.
In the middle of the night, yes, it did stink. And there were girls in the beds asleep.
No.
And they slept through the whole thing, though.
What?
They didn't faze them.
Did they wake up and was the vomit still there?
No, I went around like a little fairy, and I picked up all of their blankets, washed them, dried them, put them back on there before they woke up. They didn't know. They had
Audrey,
no
look
idea.
at you go. Look at you being the fairy camp mom.
Thank you.
Was that an award that they gave out every week?
It should have been. I would have won it.
Truth. Okay, as we wrap up, we want to hear what people took away from camp / learned, are still learning. And so what was the biggest impact that camp had on you?
I think that when you go into working at camp, you think it's just going to be fun, but you also, as you're doing it, you realize it's not only physically challenging, but it also requires a lot of spiritual growth and maturity. And I think that leaving with that spiritual growth and those friendships, nothing beats that. So I'm really thankful
Very
for
true.
it.
Thanks so much for coming by, Audrey. Thanks for telling us about camp.
Thank you for having me.
And have a good rest of the day, girl.
Thanks.
Well, that's all we got for today, guys. Seriously, though, consider working at camp. I'm talking to you, Frank. It's a great experience, and you're sure to make some crazy memories. So, thanks for joining us today, and we'll see you next week.